What is going on? What is going on? Everybody in the house, what is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that I'm on for you. How is everybody doing today? I am just fine. It is DJ Tech Thursday. We are definitely going to be a shorter, I'm trying to make sure that we're even. I'm feeling like I'm a little, here. There we go. That's better. We are definitely going to be ending here by about 11:45, 11:50, because I do have an appointment at noon today. So hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm having a good day, sort of. I mean, I just got up, had a late night. I always have late nights on Wednesdays for some strange reason. So we're gonna get it started. We're gonna keep it relatively quick, relatively easy. Because I have too much stuff to do. I missed last week. I was just exhausted. I've been fighting a cold for the past week. So that was a thing that was just like, I can't get up. I'm just not feeling well. So hopefully you guys saw me on, was it Wednesday? Wednesday was, I was on Tweak Music Tips. Actually judging a DJ competition. It was a wordplay battle. So it was myself and Priyon Joni, and we took it seriously. Hopefully we were able to provide some good information, some good feedback for the contestants. But we definitely took it seriously. I would say that we took it far more serious than any other team out there. That's what I would say. And not in a bad way. Not like, oh, we were just better judges. No, I think we actually took some notes. We expressed our pluses and minuses of every routine. And I think ultimately we sent the best 4 people to the championships. I think so anyway. I believe so. So, because I watched, look, we did the semifinals, and the finals was done by Battlecat. And then the I guess, quarterfinals were done by, who was it? Who did the quarterfinals? I can't remember right now. I can't remember. But another amazing DJ did the quarterfinals. And what I noticed was, they were all very, very good, but very nice. Yeah, it was okay. It was, but they didn't really provide like serious feedback. And I think PG and I really did a good job on that, but it was a good experience nonetheless. It's hard to be a judge. It's really hard to be a judge. It's easy to get like the first, I don't know, maybe you get your 2 favorites, but once you get up to like 3 and 4, and we had to pick 4 people, it gets really hard. Because usually that one person is like, okay, you definitely deserve to be in the finals. Maybe even the second person. But then like the third and the fourth ones, they start to become kind of close to being, equally good or equally bad, whatever. They might have some good points and some negatives. And so it was hard picking those last 2. And then factor in the fact factor in the fact that all of your friends, all of your fans, they're all in there too, commenting, questioning why you were hard on somebody or easy on somebody. It gets real personal, gets real heated. I understand. Like judging it's not easy to be a judge. You really have to ignore everything that people are saying and just stand by your guns because it's real easy for the masses to jump on you and like, nope, nope, nope. This is what we believe. This is what we believe. But we have thick skin because we do YouTube. And you have to have thick skin doing YouTube. So, once again, welcome out. This is DJ Tech Thursday. We talk about everything DJ related, whether it be DJ gear, DJ reviews, DJ business, DJ family, DJ life, a little bit of everything. We do it here. So if you have any questions, make sure you put the hashtag ask in the chat. I don't think I have that transition anymore because I got rid of it. I got to put it back on here. Yeah. So make sure you put hashtag ask in the chat just so I can see what's going on. And we can go from there. Right now, looks like we have a short cast of individuals. The locals, the ones that are always here, and I appreciate you guys all. Don Rafa, King Biggs, M Dizik, Optical DJ Cartridge, DJ G5, Mixmaster G in the building, and in the building early today, Mixmaster G. He's ready for this one. DJ Matt Ames, that's one of my members. That's why you see the green under his whole name is in green, along with Lance Jackson and DJ Colcutt. These are members of the squad. They support the channel. It is a great way to keep me pushing along is by supporting the channel, becoming a member. That is absolutely amazing. And I appreciate all of you guys for doing that. One of the benefits that will come, especially because my content will be more consistent now, and I'll explain why it hasn't been consistent if I haven't done so already. But one of the things that I will be doing is all of my members, unless it's an embargo release, meaning it's like a brand new piece of gear that I can't even release early. All of my members will get a pre-release version of it. That's the first thing. So they'll see it a day before everybody else. The next one, by the way, the memberships also go to, I don't know, buying me a new damn chair. I still haven't replaced my chair, but I can still feel myself dropping down right now. Brian Muhammad, I'm gonna get to you, but you gotta be patient, pal. Gotta be patient. What was I gonna say? So, that helps to that. You see me dropping, right? You see the microphone, you see where it is right now. There we go. Okay. So, threw off my train of thought. Anyway, so yes. So today, we're going to talk about anything you guys have questions on, obviously, but, I was flowing too. DJ Willie D, welcome to Team Cleveland Terry. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you so much. But today, what are we going to talk about? I had a flow going, and then one of the texts just threw me off. So not a big deal. We'll catch back up with it at any point in time. But so we'll talk about a little bit why I have been kind of unavailable. As you guys have noticed, my content has dropped and everything has dropped, and it's because I've been very busy. Everybody knows I've been busy. You know, I run a very successful multi-op DJ company in Southern California. So we have a lot of events every single weekend, from September, late August up until December 10th, I believe we average 8 events every Saturday night. So it's been a lot. And then you factor in that the events are just one thing. Like, that's fine. I get that. That's a part of the business and we want to do it. But the issue is there's a lot of add-ons. We're doing lighting, we're doing video work, we're doing camera work, we're doing ceremonies, and all of these things are all a part of it. So it's just, there's a lot of details on all of these events. And my week is spent on the phones with all of these clients. That makes sense, right? I'm on the phone with clients. My week is like Monday is my only off day where I don't take phone calls. However, it doesn't mean that I don't have 60 emails from the weekend that I don't have to go through, me, my partner and I. So that's what we do on Monday. Then on Tuesday through Thursday, I have scheduled phone calls. Using the Calendly app. So I don't even know what my schedule is as far as the meetings I'm going to have, but usually it's like from 11 till 4 is any time that the client can schedule a meeting. So between Tuesday and Thursday, it's all phone calls. I probably on the phone 60 times during the week. Then Friday, usually if we don't have a gig, I have a gig. I do a lot of other DJing. Like tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow I will be at this place called Coppermine. It's just a little bar out in Woodland Hills, California. It's a subset of Los Angeles County or Los Angeles City. So I have that on Friday night. Saturday, I'm doing a whole lighting setup for a client. And then Sunday is family. Family. That's the way it works. So, or either family or I have a gig. Like next week, we have gigs on Saturday, we have gigs on Sunday. So, a lot of time disappears real fast, and then you factor in the fact twice now that, my kids have extracurricular activities. And so I got to go and, take them to dance or do whatever, go to the office, make sure that my office manager has set up the events correctly there. So we're not having to refund people's money, because that's one of the things that I absolutely hate doing is refunding people's money. So that's that. So yesterday, I dropped off my kid at dance, and I'm like, I'm going to head to the office. Her dance was like 4 hours. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to go home because we live like 45 minutes from dance, which isn't the problem. But once you get back on the freeway, it's LA traffic. It can take, an hour sometimes to get home. So by the time you get home, you're like, oh my God, it's gonna take me another 45 minutes to get back. Should I even go home? I have a benefit of having my offices in LA. So I can drive 30 minutes to my office, just stay there the whole time and then come back. Yesterday, as I was driving home in rush hour traffic, driving about, 10 to 15 miles an hour on the 405, talking to my wife, and everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, slam, I get rear-ended. My beautiful F-150 gets rear-ended. I had never been rear-ended. Pause. Ever. I mean, I'm the one that does the rear ending. If I'm going to hit somebody, it's me. So I didn't know what the hell happened. I just remember screaming, ow, as I was on the phone with my wife. And then after your brain, once you get hit, your brain, especially when you're not expecting it, your brain kind of goes, what the hell just happened? You're looking around, and I looked up and I'm like, I think I just got hit, because I was on the phone with my wife. So I pull over to the side, and then the truck pulls over to the side. The irony of the whole thing, literal irony. My F-150 is gorgeous. I don't care what anybody says. I have a beautiful black on black F-150. Absolutely love my truck. I love my truck. I pull over to the side. I look up. I want you to guess what hit me. Just guess what hit me. I'll wait. And my F-150 is bomb. You guys are crazy. I gotta pull up my F-150 now. I have to pull it up. I'm gonna wait for people to respond. As I look for my truck. Anyway. Yeah, my F-150 is gorgeous. But this is the bomb right here. Talk about my truck. My F-150 is beautiful. Cybertruck. No, not yet. Not yet. And you know what? I say not yet. I absolutely won't be buying a Cybertruck ever. That is not my thing. Anyway. Okay. So, Falling Rock. A DJ and a U-Haul. I love that one, Mac Attack. A white Tesla. No. I 1500 Bighorn. It's a battle of the trucks, right? A raggedy ride. I wish it were a raggedy ride. No, I got hit. Jack Nicholson. I got hit by a AAA truck. I got hit by a truck that was dragging or bringing another truck to the to wherever they needed to drop it off. A AAA transportation vehicle hit my truck. Might as well have been LAPD. Yeah. So he hit it. Fortunately, the damage is not horrible. It's not horrible. He literally ran right into my bumper and just like, you know, my bumper is trash now. So it has to be replaced. Yeah, I was like, now put my truck on here and take it to the place. So did they offer to tell you? It didn't need to be towed. It's honestly like it. We were only going 10 to 15 miles an hour. So the damage wasn't horrible. The problem is right now, I can't open up my truck bed because my bumper is slammed so far into the back. It's just, I can't, the truck bed won't open. So that's the biggest problem with the whole thing. Rick Webb. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for this weekend because I do have a gig. Fortunately, I am not DJing. I'm just handling lights. So I got to throw in basses and poles and all that stuff. So that's annoying, but not the end of the world. Yeah. But here's the thing though. My back was far tighter yesterday. I'm going to give it another day just to see how it is. Because well, your back is a weird thing. You just never know what you're going to get. I'm turning on, by the way, Professor BX is in the house. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. I'm turning on my sound because I'm expecting a photo booth top that I absolutely need because it's for this weekend and they're going to be dropping it off. The one thing I can't stand is not a lot of companies, but still companies do this. They want you to sign for your product. And well, my UPS, my FedEx, my USPS, they all know that I do something here. They know that I'm like a DJ. They know that I do something because all the guys are always just setting everything down. They leave it to where it is off to the side of my house. So it's nice and safe and secure. I have a nice area that they can put stuff in. But some people make you sign for them. And I can't stand the sign forms because I'm always on the go as a mobile DJ and people aren't at the house. So having a window of like, we're going to be there between, 12 to 4. It's like, that's just like, that's like suicide for me because I can't just sit around my house for 4 hours. I got to go do stuff. So they're supposed to be here between 12 and 2 today. I do have an appointment at 12. My wife is fortunately home, but even my wife likes to ignore the Ring doorbell. So I'm hoping that we get it because we need it, or we're going to be refunding people's money back this weekend, and we don't like to refund people's money. I think I already said that. All right, and hold that thought. I need to look at this thing to see what the hell's going on. I hope that it's something that I can just fix quickly. So, DJ Lab in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Actually, that is not custom mapping. That is, if we're talking about the video you just saw, that is just features of the S7. So, that was a demo that I just did. It's funny because PJ and I were just talking about this on the show we were on last weekend, and we were talking about creating routines for videos, because obviously it's a wordplay competition, but it's still scratching and DJing and all that stuff. But we were talking about it, and the running joke is like, anytime people see our routines or whatever, new piece of gear comes out and we're trying to demonstrate the things that it does, like the S7, that we are literally learning on the fly, because we don't get to have gear, especially new, embargo release gear. We'll get that like 2 to 3 days before the video's set to come out. Sometimes if you're me and you got bad luck with things, you'll get it, 3 to 4 hours before the embargo releases. It happens. But in general, everything that we do, all those routines, all those things are done like that. We're creating them and recording them on the spot, on the fly. So a lot of times, when we're talking about, oh, let me show you how to use like the Cross 12 or something like that, and I'm scratching or doing some beat juggling, like that's all just me figuring out the best routine that I can record from something that I'm learning as I go. So it is a little complicated. But yeah, those are all built into the system. The mapping functionality, the dual layer functionality on the S7, there's no other mixer that does that, which is why the S7 is such a unicorn mixer. Because I know a lot of people go for the S11, or if they can't afford that, they go to the S5, and the S7 kind of gets forgotten, but it really is. And then people get mad at the simple fact that the S7 does not have echo on the microphone. So a lot of people, for some strange reason, feel like that's a deal breaker. And I thought we were done with DJ Clue. I honestly thought we were done with DJ Clue, but no, we are not. So people want to, this is Cleveland, Terry. Like, come on, we're not doing that anymore. So, but for a lot of people, that echo was a huge deal. So people kind of dismiss it a little bit. They shouldn't. It's a great mixer. Yeah, and DJ Lab, the S11 has some of the features, but that dual layer part on the effects that is specifically for the S7 and Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth too, Bluetooth input. The S11 does not. Now, I'm not obviously the S11 is still a beast of a mixer, and it's still to this day probably the best mixer on the planet. Obviously I know there's scratch DJs, and there's, the other people, and they might disagree. They might go to, one of the 900 style mixers. I get it. Like a V10 or something like that. Completely get it. A1, get it. Those are great. But if you are a turntable style DJ, there's nothing better than the S11, in my opinion. I don't even know. I mean, I know how they could improve on it, but it's just small, a small little adjustments here and there. But in general, it's the best. It's the best mixer. It really is. Okay, so let's hostage in your own place. Okay, so Lance Jackson, I don't disagree with you that the Rain 70 is great. I've said this. The S7 and the Rain 770 are both equally good mixers. I agree. If you get either one of those, you were in a very, very good place. Although, for me, I definitely had to change the crossfader in my Rain 70, so it wasn't perfect out of the box. I'm not a Mag 4 fan. I just don't think they don't feel that good to me. But neither here nor there. That's a me thing. Some people like it, some people don't. But I love the Rain 70. I actually own a Rain 70. It is sitting. It's my Rain 70. Oh, it's in the case in my closet. I can't sell it because I love it. But it is what it is. But I'm not, if somebody were like, you have to make a choice between a Rain 70 and an S11, like that's not even a choice. The S11 is absolutely the choice to have. Now, actually the Rain 70 is kind of a bigger mixer too. The S7 is a smaller and lighter mixer, so that's definitely better for transport. And if you are, traveling with it and you're worried about space, the head is cut off on the S11 to make the S7 basically. So it is definitely a smaller and it is a lighter mixer. Okay. Brian Muhammad says, I'm still learning to use, he's using, what is Brian doing here? Brian's doing a lot of things. Still learning how to use Serato stems, still learning Serato Studio. Hey man, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. DJ Kev 101 says, can you about the RCF speakers? How would you rank them amongst the good ones? When I tell you I'm not the guy to ask that question on, I really mean I'm not the guy to ask that question on. The RCF speakers are very good speakers. Okay, I'm gonna take the political route here. RCF speakers are very good speakers. The question that naturally comes up after I say RCF speakers are good is, well, how do they compare to this? How do they compare to this? How do they compare to this? And my opinion is they're good speakers. They compare equally with all the speakers at that price point. $1,000 highs, $2,000 subs. Per. That's a good average. So you're looking at you're looking at JBL SRX. You're looking at QSC K12s. They're all quality in my book. Now, the thing that I don't love is the amount of love that RCF gets, this kind of unbridled, just blind rage love. You can't tell anybody different. RCF is they're the most amazing speakers ever invented on the planet Earth. I don't agree with that. I think they're a very good speaker. And I think there's a lot of speakers out there that are just as quality. So when the bandwagon RCF people are like, no, if you don't get RCF, you have no idea what good sound is. That's a crock of shit. Where does a crock of shit come from, by the way? That is a crock of shit. Is that some old like farm thing that just kind of just continued on as we move through the generations? Because when I think of crock, I think of the old what is that, country crock? The butter? Country crock? That's what I think about. So is it like a country crock container of shit? Like I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm still falling. I will be replacing this chair. This is really annoying. Or I guess I could just, lose some weight. Maybe it's a weight. Maybe I'm getting too fat. Maybe that's the issue. And my seat's like, I can't. My seat is like, stop. Please get off. I don't know. Okay. Maybe a crock pot. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, if you know what's going through my brain right now with the crock pot. Is the crock pot on? Is it on simmer mode for 8 hours? That would be one hell of a smell once you release that lid. Oh my God. DJ Greg Ellis. It came from the farm days in the Renaissance era. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of like the F word. The F word is actually was another one of those older words. And it meant to plow the fields. That's what the F word meant, to plow the fields. So put it together. I'm going to plow your field. There you go. Words are funny things. Oh God. Anyway. Okay. Let's answer some questions here before we go way off base here. We don't want to go too far here. Let's see here. I know I saw some. And yes, I do use Serato stems. Don Rafa received his Flex 10 finally. Congratulations. How do you like it? Have you used it yet? I actually recently used the Flex 10 because I've been going through a whole bunch of gear lately for some strange reason. Partly because it's really a simple thing. This is going to sound silly, but it's a me thing. I use furniture. I'm a Danny Max ambassador for furniture, so I use a couple of pieces of his stuff. Meanwhile, I have my Rev 7 in white is in my furniture. Love it in there. Looks good. It's clean. The biggest problem is I absolutely love DJing on the Rev 7. Now, I'm supposed to be getting another Rev 5 to do some long-term testing. When that comes out, it'll probably change the way what I'm talking about right now. But I love DJing on the Rev 7. Like, love. So, but I don't like taking the Rev 7 out of the furniture case. It's really annoying. It gets on my nerves. I like to just leave it in there and not think about it. So, I have been using some of the other gear that I have. So, Flex 10, I popped that out. Obviously, the Mixon 8, pop that out. When the Rev 5 comes, I'll probably use the Rev 5 exclusively for when I'm not using furniture, is the Rev 5. I like the Flex 10 a lot. I do. I have just, I gotta check text messages to make sure. I have just fallen in love with paddles. I mean, I've always loved paddles, but like now it's a workflow issue. So for me, the Flex 10, as great as it is, I just don't love using the effects. I love the the stem implementation on the Flex 10. Love that. It's easy. The lights are easy to identify what you're doing. You can break out where you want your stem effects to go to. So for instance, where is my, it might be in the other room. I know it's in my video, but I'll just talk about it right now. So in the effects strip, you have, going off my memory here, Vox, instruments, and drums, right? And that's in your effects strip. So it, as a default, they're all active. And then when you hit your effect, hit echo, it's going to echo everything. But what you can also do is select just on vocals or just on drums or just on the music, the instruments. And once you select that, it stays there. So until you turn it back on or make the other ones active, they'll stay there. So when you hit the echo, yeah, it's only echoing the vocals or only echoing the drums. The one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that it's not just for the strip. It's pretty much all effects. So that means that your multi knob, the one that handles your filter or your pitch, your tone play, not tone play, but your pitch play and all that stuff. Well, that one also is affected by your selection. So you can have, say, vocals. I always kept the vocals active. So, when I'm echoing out or whatever, you don't typically want to echo out if you're doing a transition. Most people really don't care about echoing out with the beat, especially if the beat becomes a little off, maybe the BPM's not being recognized as well. So you hit it and it's, and it's just messing up your whole transition. So if you have it set to just be the vocals, now only the vocals are echoing out. That's amazing. But also on your strip, where your multi knob, you can change the pitch, you can change the high pass filter, you can do all these things right from the knob too. So it's just a really good controller. It really is, and anybody that has or that is looking at getting, they're like, I think I want to get a 1000. It's like, don't do that. Get the Flex 10. If obviously if money is not the issue, get a Flex 10. It's just a better controller, and it's USB-C, which is really hard sometimes to remember that it's USB-C because your brain wants to plug in a USB-B. It wants to, but it's all USB-C there. And your old plug, your old power adapter will work on the Flex 10 from your 1000. Okay. Lance says weight is heavy. It is heavier than the 1000. Absolutely true. It is heavier, but it's a little bigger, but it's a better controller. Okay. Let me go back up so I can answer some of these questions right here. Something smells in here. Don Rafa says, love it. Use it this past Saturday. Great. Good job. CT, you have any idea when we will expect a new Serato update? I mean, they update all the time. If you're looking for some real, like, a point release, or a major release. And if it's a major release, I have no idea. I mean, I'm in the dark like you. At some point, they'll probably send me a beta, but it's not like I go running to Serato like, when are you going to update? When are you going to update? Is there something in particular you were looking for in the update? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Too buff. Okay. I just bought a DJ case for my Roland 202. That's great, Brian. Good job. Hey, Brian, I'm curious. How old are you? Put it in the chat if you want to. I don't want to, I was watching Old Dads on Netflix last night. And if you are, I don't know, I guess above 40 and above, you will relate so hard to Old Dads. It's Bill Burr's movie. He wrote it and starred in it. If you know Bill Burr, he's a comedian, and he's very, very honest with everything he says. So, the first hour, I didn't finish it. I have like 30 minutes left to go. But The first half hour to 45 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, he is me. I am him. Anyway, it's a good movie. Okay. DJ Cocut says, what are your thoughts on DJs using mini line arrays, JBL, RCF, QSC, etc., not column arrays? I assume when you say line arrays, you're referring to not column arrays. So you're talking about the small speakers, like, oh, I'm using it, 210s up top and then the subs on the bottom. Still point speakers, but they're horizontal instead of vertical. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. If that's what we're talking about, and not just like your standard column, I know it's interchangeable, and I know we screw it all up. So I'm just gonna say arrays like Bose, or the JBL Eon 1, or the LD Maui's. Okay, so we're talking about those arrays, or we're talking about the official ones. They sound amazing. If we're talking about what we're talking about, I've heard the JBL version of it, which is their 900 series, and I was so surprised at the amount of sound coming out of that 10-inch speaker. Like, legitimately, it had the 900 subs on the bottom, and one 10-inch, and then they had a couple. One had 2, one had 12. The 10s were rocking. They were rocking. So I don't have a problem with it. The only problem I have with that type of stuff is I think it takes up more space, usually speaking. So for some, that might be a factor, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't love the way they look. I mean, it feels like to me, like a lot of people go that route to try to impress people. Look at all the speakers, like stacked 10s and big ass sub. I don't hear a difference sound wise. But hey, teach their own. Okay. Elder God, Uzak says Rev 5. Yeah, Rev 5. You know what a Rev 5 is. Come on. Rev 5 is probably the best, $1,000 give or take controller out there. If you love like battle style and you love the Rev 7, to me it's a no-brainer. So I have come around a little bit to the fact that Serato effects, or whatever program you're using, are not the end of the world. Now, there is a point in time where a product with Serato effects has to stop being said product. There's a dollar value. Once you get over a certain number, to me, you have to have internal effects. But $1,000 or less, if you don't have internal effects, but the product is still great, I'm okay with that. Again, like all these people, so dumb. This is so dumb. Hold on. I'm going to go the other route. I'm going to drop my desk down. All these people that are like, if it doesn't have internal effects, I don't want it. It's just not good. I don't know how many internal effects you're using. I use 3 effects. 3 effects. Echo, reverb, high pass filter. That's it. That's all I use. Echo, reverb, high pass filter. On occasion, when I'm using the Rev 7, on occasion, few and far between though. I like that it's there. I'll use duck down on occasion, but that's it. That's it. I don't feel the need to have to use every effect that is known to man. I don't use crusher and, beat breaker and gate crusher and all those. I don't use any of that stuff. I don't personally. So Serato Echo, and they have 2 different echoes that they have. They have a like a high pass echo, and then their regular echo. They got a couple tape delays and ping pongs and stuff like that too. But in general, I believe I use the high pass echo because it has a cleaner tail, and nobody knows the difference. I've never had one as good as Pioneer DJ's echo is. It really is good. It's the best one out there, the best echo out there. But I've never had one person come up to me and say, "Hey, your transition was good, but that echo was really a problem." Never. I've never had that happen. So nobody cares. And if nobody cares, then you're the only one that cares. And if you're the only one that cares, I just think you're stopping your ability to enjoy products because of some pseudo make or break thing. DJ Lab says, did you buy the Flex 10? I did not buy the Flex 10. These are all the products that I'm using right now are pretty much long-term rentals. Yeah. I did send back the Rain 4. And I'm just full disclosure on everybody's just so you know what's going on. I sent back the Rain 4. I will be throwing away my chair. Flex. I just call this Flex. It's not Flex. The Mixon 8. Now that I'm done with the review, it will go back. I plan on boxing it up today, and then if they can send me out a label, that will go too. So a lot of people will undoubtedly say, well, why are you sending things back? What didn't you like about blah, blah, blah? And the bottom line here is, for me, let me go. Oh God, lots of questions. For me, it takes a lot to get me to switch out to certain things. Okay. It says must be nice. DJ Smiley, it just didn't happen, overnight. This took a lot of time. So it must be nice that I, really, really dug in for, a good solid 4 years of doing these videos and on the grind to finally get there. So, yeah. So I'm always appreciative because I have a lot of good people that help me out, especially when they understand, because I got a lot of people that work in the industry and they work at these companies, and they understand that there's always, issues or things or delivery issues. And so they're always trying to help me whenever they can. So that's the part that I appreciate. But I think that's more in line with the fact that I don't treat the companies and the representatives, because they all have like dedicated representatives. I don't treat them like, what are you going to do for me today? What can you do for me today? I have genuine friendships with everybody that works at these companies. Every one of them I have genuine friendships with. Professor BX in the chat. That's Drew from Pioneer DJ. And over the course of us meeting at NAMM and NAMM 2020, legitimately 2020, and then going all the way to 23 now, almost ending 23, that's a good friend of mine now. Good friend of mine. We chat all the time. We have a whole, message thing that we talk about gear and trash and whatever else. And he's a good friend of mine now, Prion Joni, good friend of mine now. Even people, Jason Stout from Pioneer DJ, good friend of mine now. Every single one of them, well, not every one of them. I do have enemies too, but every single one of them, for the most part, I have relationships with. So the building the relationships are, that's the most important part. It has nothing to do with the gear. The gear is an added bonus, but the relationships are things that, you said Jason from Rain. What's so funny? What's so funny about that? Jason. There's a couple of Jasons now from Rain. But yeah, and who else is there? Is there anybody else that I chat with? I can tell you one thing. I have no relationships with Reloop. Oh, from PDJ. Gotcha. Yeah, I have yeah, the Mixon's going back. We're not going to talk about that. We'll just let it go. So the Mixon's going back today. I still haven't tested out the T7, and I feel like the best scenario for me is just to have it sent from a retailer. That's the best scenario for me. I can't find a better way. So I'm over, you know, I'm just over it. So when I talk to, I'll see them at NAMM, you know, I'll see them multiple places. I'm just over it. I'm over it. So, and that's fine. I have no issue with it. We'll see. Maybe they'll see my Mixon 8 review and then they'll say, oh, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know if they're going to hate it. I don't know if they're going to love it, but that's the whole point. It's not my job to make people happy for doing the reviews. You know, as long as I'm constructively critical and I'm not bashing the company, I think everything I say is fair. You know, so there's that. I most likely missed it. Did you post a video of the Wolf Mix? I have not because I haven't used it enough. And I haven't used it enough because I was really working hard, not working hard at all, on the Chauvet ILS. I'm kind of addicted to ILS. Now, I will say this. ILS kind of bit me in the ass last week. Kind of. Will it work with the iPhone? Well, what? The Mixon? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, it'll work with the iPhone. It'll work with any iOS device. Yeah, it kind of bit me in the ass this weekend. And I believe it's probably because I don't even know if it has this on the ILS command, because I'm only working off of just the standard foot switch. My party planner, when a client books lighting, they just book lighting, right? It's not like they're very specific. And most of the times, unless they're doing up lighting and things like that, they don't really say, hey, I want it to be this color or this or that. They don't say that, you know. But this weekend or last weekend, we had the event, and the party planner walked in and she was like, I don't like the colors. She had a very pink room. So I was like, okay, well, we can flip that. You know, what do you want it to be? White, purple? So we settled on white. And then she says, I don't like the shapes of the gobos. I need you to change those. Well, that part I did not have access to. There's no way to change the gobo to maybe just being like a spot, you know, or whatever you want to do. They don't have that in there because you can't even do like a prism, just using the foot switch. So at that point in time, right then and there, I was like, the Wolf Mix would have been really good at this point in time. Just for that. Now, I don't even know. I'm sure that I'm sure that you're able to change or choose the gobos you want. But the one question I have now, because I'm not actually sure, I will test this out, just not this weekend, but I will test it out. If you are using the Wolf Mix with a Gigbar Move ILS that is also controlling the other ILS fixtures, does it pass through? Does it pass through the settings you're choosing? And more importantly, can I wirelessly pass through to the other fixtures? I don't have that answer. I don't know. And I don't even know if the ILS command does it. I'm gonna have them send me an ILS command too. Just so I can test it all. I get a lot of questions. And I have no answers. So I might have to start bringing back my other movers, which is fine. They're just, heavier, brighter, better. I've just been getting so lazy on it. So lazy. Oh, the ILS is so convenient. Literally, you just plug it in and turn it on and it just does the thing. Now, if you're doing it over time and you're kind of watching it, like you can definitely see like when a routine loops back over. It takes a while though. It takes a while. Mac just says, I'm a good friend, right? I mean, yeah. You're my you're my convention friend. You're good convention friend. DJ Sandman says, how do you get long-term rentals? You create a YouTube channel that is I guess successful and respected, and they know people take your word for it, and then you throw it in there as an option when you're getting the gear. I mean, that's as much as I can say about that. They don't like to give long-term, companies don't like to give long-term stuff to everybody, but once you've kind of established yourself, it's simple. I just say, hey guys, I need to have this for longer. A lot of times for like the Rev 5 is a perfect example. I had the Rev 5 for literally 3 days, and then it had to go to Atlantic City for the DJ Expo. So, and then, it was just a matter of, getting product. They only had so much product. So, I texted the guys. I'm like, look, I need a long-term one. It's not just about, I want to be able to use it for a long time. Like that is a piece. That's definitely a piece. But I truly believe that you're doing both the customer, which is potentially you, and or even the manufacturer that's making the product. I truly believe you're doing them a disservice if you don't do a long-term review, because a lot of times, I've said this, when you get a product and you have 3 days, 5 days to review something, you're never going to get truly the full experience. So what ends up happening is I'll do those, and then I'll get random questions maybe a couple months later. Hey, have you found that yours does this? Have you found that this does this? Have you found blah blah blah? Hey, I noticed this. Hey, is this a glitch? Blah blah blah. Those are the things that I won't see when I'm not using things long term. So I prefer them. So then when I do a follow up, which is why even with the Mixon, I mean, I've had the Mixon for a while now, but I just haven't had a chance to really seriously use it. And now that I've used it, I can do a better review of the Mixon. So that one's more like a pseudo long-term / everything else. And I did find out little things that were issues and things that were great and all those things. So, but it comes over time. It's only surface level when we do our first reviews, and they might be thorough, but they're still surface level. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I love this gear. I love this, blah, blah, blah. And then I actually get it out and I'm out with it. And then, I'm using it and I'm like, oh, I can't see the buttons on this one. I can't do this. Oh, why does it do this? Oh, I just noticed that this is all the way over here. This is an inconvenience. Like all of these little things are things you don't really see when you first review products, which is why I always try to take them out. But a lot of embargoes, you can't take out the gear. So you get what I'm saying? That's why you do need to have more than one video in general. Okay. Hopefully Pioneer comes out with an updated Rev 7 4-channel. No. No. We don't need a 4-channel Rev 7. We absolutely don't need a 4-channel Rev 7. We don't. I mean, maybe if we did like a 3-channel with like the deck move of the Rev 5, that I can take. That I would appreciate it. But we don't need a 4-channel Rev 7. First of all, Have you even taken a 4-channel Rev? Have you taken a Rev 7 anywhere? I know the weight of that Rev 7 would be a nightmare, and it would have to be bigger. It's already a larger controller. It really is. It's not in the cards. The only people that I think would be crazy enough would be Rain, because I truly believe that their Rain 4 should have been a Rain 4 with spinning platters. They don't care about weight, so just suck it up and just make one. NS7, 2.0. Professor BX, his opinion actually matters. So if you say he says no, there's your answer. There's your honest answer. Okay. Let's see here. What is Sam saying? Have you mapped Rev 1 to DJ? Can you download the mapping? I looked online, didn't find anything. Do you agree with companies? Oh, this is a two-parter. So first part, Sam, no, I have not mapped DJ. I'm going to be honest with you. I only use DJ sparingly as a backup because I can't stand my biggest issue with DJ. Only one issue, two issues. I actually said it in the Mixon review yesterday. If you haven't seen the Mixon review, go watch the Mixon review after this show. Go watch the Mixon review. But the two issues I have with DJ, one, Stems 1.0 just sound terrible. They sound absolutely terrible. And I almost feel like in this case, now that I've used virtual DJs and Seratos, that they are unusable. So that's my first thing. The second thing is I can't stand how difficult it is to get music on DJ. I need it to be easier. Yes, I know there's a way to do it. I know Mixmaster GNL has plenty of great programs to get stuff over there, but I cannot stand getting music over to DJ. That is like a deal breaker for me. So everything on my iPad, I've created music playlists in both Tidal and in BeatSource. That's the way I use it. It's dumb. They got to make it easier. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, and then two, do you agree with AV companies that set up all the speakers and equipment for you? Okay, so that is actually that is a thing. And depending on where you live and the venues you go to, they may require you to use their gear, meaning their speakers. They probably have movers already built into the ceilings, and then you're feeding them an XLR output. That is very, very common. And I don't feel any type of way because first off, they'll always tell you what they're using. And usually if it's on the up and up, their systems are probably better than yours in general. Not always, but in general. So I don't have a problem with that. My biggest problem is depending on the situation where you are, like there are some places where I know they're like, oh, we're going to use our speakers. And I'm like, well, I still have to bring my speakers. Well, what do you mean? Well, because, for one thing, it's not really set up for a DJ setup. So you got speakers that are built up top, but maybe they're too far away. And now you have a dead spot on your dance floor. So I still have to bring my speakers to circumvent that dead spot, so they get it. There's another venue that I work at all the time that it's a great venue. Speakers are trash, absolutely trash, and they cut in and out whenever they feel like it. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. You're making me look bad, so I'm bringing my own speakers in. They completely understood. They don't complain. Then there are venues that are like, no, you have to use our speakers. And like, okay, well, what are you using? Because I don't trust you. Because sometimes it's an ordinance thing. And their speakers are already built in or set up in a way that where they're not blasting the parts that they're afraid they're going to get fined for, or they want to make sure that you don't exceed a certain level. So I get it. It works just fine. You have to just know the people, know what kind of stuff you're dealing with, and go from there. But it just depends. I don't have a problem with it. If I don't have to bring my speakers, I'm fine with that. That's less work for me. Anytime we have lots of nightclubs, obviously in LA. So there's tons of events where they'll do them at nightclubs, and I just got to bring my deck and just plug in, literally bring my laptop, because I have, a V10 or a 900 and some CDJ 3000s. Like, I'm good. I don't have to bring anything, and I know that there is this thing that a lot of DJ companies do, and I've always hated it. I think it's a combination of, I'm not going to begin to speculate as to why people are this way, but there is a thing that people do where, they have their package and it's like, okay, facade or furniture and speakers and lighting. And the client goes, oh, wait, hold on. The venue already has speakers and lighting. And then said DJ says, well, I'm still going to bring my own speakers. You're still going to pay for my speakers. Oh, well, why is that? Because, you never know what you're going to get. So I'm just more comfortable using mine. I can guarantee the quality of my speakers. So I can't give you a discount for the fact that they have their speakers. Sorry. My speakers are better anyway. A lot of times, crock shit. Sometimes valid. And the venues that cause you problems. But just to say overall, well, I'm still going to charge you for my speakers because, well, I don't know what's going to happen. If they tell you it's at a damn nightclub, you're not bringing your speakers into a nightclub. Okay? That's just facts. And if it's a nightclub, you're probably they're literally open every day. I think they know if their speakers are busted or not. So I don't charge people when I don't bring my speakers. I don't charge people when I don't bring certain equipment. That's a slap in their face. Now, it's not a lot of money that's being credited off, but the fact is, I can't stand when I see like a full on like concert level speaker system and the damn DJ has got his his RCF speakers sitting in front, like, you never know what's going to happen. You can't trust that these speakers are going to be good. Oh my God. The concert is literally just before you. It's right here. So to each their own. I just think it's dumb, and I think it's a smack in the face to any client. Anyway. Okay. That would be a dream, having other DJs set up everything and you just plug in. So, and I actually do have that if I want it. Because we do have road guys to set it up. The problem is, all of my systems I keep my system at my house. All the other equipment is at the office. So when the other DJs come, they go to the office, they pick up their equipment, they go. But my speakers and stuff are at my house. Probably because I have a 17-year-old son, and if I need help, I have him. That's his job. So, but in general, yeah, I don't keep my speakers there. I don't know why I don't, but at a certain point, I will be doing a lot more roadies setting up my equipment. And maybe because I don't want them breaking my shit. My speakers, my stuff is like beautiful. And it's beautiful because all of my speakers and everything, it's all wrapped up. Like, it's frustrating when people can't. The QSC sub cases are weird. They have like double wrap. It's like literally like a swaddling your baby. Like you put the speaker, you put it over the top, and then there's a Velcro strap that goes underneath to lock it in place. That way it prevents the speaker bag from lifting up as you're driving it like in a truck or something and floating off. And then there is another piece, a full-on Velcro, almost like label that's like much larger, that goes underneath and then wraps over the controls for the speakers. So as you're rolling it, you're rolling it up a stair, or maybe you're taking it over like a piece, or you're taking it off, you're not damaging the controls. It is exceptionally smart to do it that way. But For a lot of people, they have no idea how it works. So sometimes my Velcro is all around it, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just hanging there. And I'm like, my stuff is as beautiful as it is because I take good care of my stuff. I don't trust other people because I've seen how other people use all of my other DJ gear. You know, we fund it all, and stuff breaks all the time. All the time. I'm replacing stuff all the time. So the question is it just because, you know, it's shoddy equipment? No, because they don't take care of my shit. So they don't get to use my shit. My partner and I both have our systems and our houses. They don't get to touch our stuff. They don't get to touch it. And his roadie sets up and they understand, but like, you know, the same thing is going to apply to me. You don't get to touch my stuff. You don't get to use it. You don't get to borrow it. You want to borrow it, go borrow the scratched up ones over there because you're not borrowing my beautiful speakers. Sorry. Okay. Mac just says, wish each venue had Denon so I could just sign it and play. That way I don't break a computer. That'd be dope. That would be dope. Yeah. If it's a good system, save your back and use the house gear. Exactly. I mean, but you know, people gotta make money. DJ Pro is backup for me. Good choice. I noticed music transferred automatically to DJ from Serato crates and everything. Did you notice how to find a tutorial? I've never noticed that. I don't know what that means because I've never seen that. DJ G Kenny in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. No YouTube alert. Oh, sorry. Hit the bell notification. By the way, I don't know how many people are in here, but everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Just because. Or maybe if you don't like it, don't hit the like button. But, you know, hit the like button. All right. Greg Ellis says, you are very, very fair in your reviews. You don't bash anyone. Thank you. I try not to. Let's see here. Did you post a review? I talked about the Wolf Mix. Is a duck down effect available as a Serato software effect? No, it is not, Cleats. Duck down is specifically for the Rev 7. And it's not even on any other hardware. It's not on the 5. Is it on the 5? I can't remember if it's on the Rev 5 or not. I believe it's exclusive to the Rev 7. Call me crazy, but I've always thought that the Rain 4 was a tolerance test to see how big and heavy they can go. Next, 8 or 10 inch motorized controller. The market misses the NS series. Willie D, the market does not miss the NS series. Several people miss the NS series, but the market itself could care less. If the market wanted it, they would be selling it. But they looked at the numbers and they said, all this work and we're only getting X amount of people buying this product. Although, you know, history does repeat itself. And like, for instance, you know, first it was all about the small phones and then they got bigger. Then they got huge. Then they got a little smaller. Now they're back. Now 6 is like the average. I actually just bought a Max. I bought a 15 Max. Text message. Signature required. Package delivery. 11. This one says 11.3. So I got 2 different products coming today, and I have no idea what they are. See, I'm literally stuck at home 2 different days. All right, and this one. And ironically enough, they're both coming from Florida. Both of them are coming from Florida. So yeah, I got one coming today and one coming tomorrow. And I don't know what either one of them are. Initially expected Thursday 11/2. Delay on 11/1. I don't know why it's this complicated. Hold on. Label created 10/26. Sorry, I'm talking through things because there's one thing that I absolutely do need, like, immediately. If it's this one and it doesn't come, I'm kind of screwed. But I'm just going to think happy thoughts right now. Happy thoughts. Okay. Let's see here. As a newbie to the crafts, is balancing all things. I would love to hear about your first 5 years in the game. Like, what was your rat race job before you went full-time DJ, and how was the experience with your first 10, 15 gigs? That is a lot. That is a lot. Balance in all things. I will give you the Cliff Notes version. November 10th. Yes, I think. Sorry, somebody's asking me if I can do a gig on November 10th. Yes. Okay. Cliff Notes version. I had worked, let's see, in 98. I had just started working for a DJ, a multi-op DJ company. And they focused on bar and bat mitzvahs. So I started doing that. I'd done that for about 10 years. Meantime, I was working a full-time job. I worked for a municipal revenue enhancement company. I was a consultant. So my clients were the local cities. So I'd go out there and talk about their sales tax and their business license and give them forecasts and things like that for the foreseeable quarters and or future. Yeah. Big brains. So that was my main job. About 10 years in, my wife was a farmer rep. So about 10 years in, 9 years in or whatever, I was just kind of burning out. I was working, 6 days a week. Irony. I work more now than I ever did before. So I ended up I left because she was a not stay-at-home mom. She was a farmer rep. I didn't need the second job anymore. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep my day job. So I left. Meanwhile, in the same time as my company, as me working full-time for a company and the bar mitzvah weekends, I had a hip hop group that I produced and rapped in. It was a full on, performances, everything, So stopped the one, kept the one, as I still continued to make music, but I worked full time. We got signed. We thought everything was going to blow up. Didn't work out. So then we, kind of stopped because we had been going hard for like 5 years. About 2 years after, maybe a year and a half to 2 years after I had stopped working, and every so often they'd call me and like, I need you to work. We were just swamped. Can you cover this? Blah, blah, blah. Sure. And I just made them pay me more. My partner says, hey, my now partner, which is also one of my best friends, says, hey, I'm thinking about leaving the company and starting my own company. What do you think? I have this guy I'm going to work with. And he told me the guy, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't, if you're going to do this, do it right. Do it with me, and we'll just create this thing. So that was that. And then we started the company. We had, I think that year we had 15 to 30. I think we had 30 events that year for the entire year. The next year we had 60 events. And then the year after that, we had, 130 events. The next year after that, we had 150. Do the math. It just kind of exponentially grows. In the meantime, for 7 years, I was working full time, handling sales for my company full time, trying to take phone calls in my office, on my cell phone, and sending emails out from my phone. And meanwhile, still trying to, handle my business and not get fired. And I did that for about 7 years till it got to a point where neither one of them were winning anymore. Like I was screwing up with my main company and just like I didn't have the time. I was just too busy. And then my company was suffering because I couldn't devote the time. So at a certain point, the writing was on the wall. I knew I'm just going to keep working until they let me go. I'd been there for, I don't know, 15 years. So, I was able to leave cleanly with a nice, severance and all that stuff. And then I went full time at that point. And literally the rest is history. My wife was working, and then we were having a kid, and she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I said, if we can make it work in California, no less, that's a huge thing. If we can make it work, we'll make it work. And so she's been a stay-at-home mom ever since. And yeah, that's the Cliff Notes version. I know I've talked about this. I think I talked about my history on the Road podcast, which you can see my interview there. Road podcast, I had it on there, and a couple of others I got to remember. Okay. All right. Buster Freestyle. You Buster Freestyle. Okay. Alfredo, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Bike Gear says, I have a question. My work is having a Christmas party. They don't want to hire a DJ, so I volunteered to DJ the crowd ages about 24 to 75. What record pool do you recommend for me for the first time? Okay, so my number one question to you, Bike Gear, is you're volunteering to DJ, but you have no music? Is that the truth? Is that the case? Are you a DJ or are you a hobbyist? I need more information. But there's no such thing as a record pool that will give you music for ages 24 to 75. That record pool does not exist. You'd be better off going with like a title or a beat source and pulling in their crates, because at least then at a minimum, you'll have what DJs are considering the best possible music. But age range 24 to 75, I mean, that's a lot of work. That takes some skill. That's a craft to be able to DJ for that entire group. So I would say good luck to you. I mean, I can DJ 24 to 75. I can play everything and keep everybody hopefully on the floor, but that's a huge range. Like it's certain things, like my son, he's a DJ now. He works for me. And, I can send him to certain things and I know he's going to do a good job. I can't send him to other things because I know he's going to fail miserably. And that's just because he just doesn't have the musical knowledge to know what songs work and what songs don't for certain age groups. He's great between, 15 and 35, 40. But once you get to like the disco age, and now, I mean, you're saying 75. So 75 is going to take you all the way back to a little before the 50s. But we'll just say the 50s, which means you got to play, 50s, 60s rock, swing music, Motown. Then you get up to then you got disco, then you got 80s, you got 90s hip hop, knowing which stuff to play. That's also important. Then you got up until today. So there's a lot of music in there that you're going to see and you're going to be like playing and not realizing that it doesn't work, or the ones that you should be playing, you don't see them because you don't know. So, it's, good luck. It's free, so it doesn't really matter because it's free, but, good luck. Brandon Rice says, do what's best for the client. Get them a DJ who can do the job. Well, he's saying they don't have a budget, so he's doing it for free. I think with BPM Supreme, you could get enough music to satisfy a wide age group. If they don't like it, then F them. I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree with BPM Supreme having a great selection, but it's one of those things where I personally don't feel that any record pool is going to help you if you don't know what to download. If you don't know what the people are listening to. So it doesn't really save you because you don't know, I mean, that's the biggest problem. No, maybe he does. I don't know. I don't have an answer. But in general, I don't know. I don't know. Just ask for a playlist and go from there. Don't do that, VDJ Chucky. I absolutely can't stand when they do company-wide playlist, uh, high school prom playlist, because all that does is give you a whole bunch of BS music that you were never going to play, that some one person loves this obscure song and this person loves this obscure song, and none of it works. I'd rather not have a playlist at all and just take a guess, because that's essentially what you're doing anyway. You know, I don't agree with anybody that ever says, just, give me your school playlist. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. I do tons of school events, tons of proms, tons of stuff. It never works. For me personally, if I'm trying to DJ the way I feel I need to DJ, I think that's probably the issue here. I don't know the way everybody DJs. I don't know, so I'm not going to assume, okay? But I don't know the way everybody DJs. I know the way I DJ requires a certain style, a certain way, and I can't just go down a list and just play. There are DJs out there that do it that way. So when they get a playlist, they're just like, okay, cool. Let me pull it in. Let me just, so if anything, if I even go do this much, let me set it by BPM. Okay, it's by BPM. Sweet, I'm just going to go down the list. Like, I know that there are people like that out there. There are tons of DJs that will literally take your playlist and use it religiously. I am not that DJ. I tell people your playlists are outlines to your party. It's a vibe to your party, but that doesn't mean I'm going to play every song on this list. I'm probably not going to play half the songs on this list. If there's stuff you want me to play, I need you to put that in this section right here. I got 3 sections. I got your playlist section. I got the stuff you absolutely don't want to hear. And then I got, if there's anything special, a specialty song, grandma's favorite song, our anniversary song, my sorority house song that we do a dance to. I want to see that. I don't want to see you just give me 75 songs of music that you like. It doesn't help me. That's why you hired a DJ to run your party. Give me your vibe. Let me do the rest. That's it. So when I get a list, every time I've gotten a playlist, every time from a corporation or whatever, it is all over the place. It is all over the place. The Hispanics, they want to hear all the Latin music. The white people, they want to hear a certain music. The black people want to hear certain music, and you can't play it all at the same time. Like I can't play certain Latin music and not alienate the white people. There's got to be times. I can't play, real black music like Before I Let Go and keep everybody on the floor, So there is a universal music that exists in that line. It exists, but but that's what DJing is. You got to know what it is. So, but that's just me. Yeah, I thought I'd tell people, we're not playing all this music on this list. We're not. Oh, well, okay, that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody wants to hear this song. Nobody wants to hear this song. I will put these songs in your cocktail playlist. I will put these songs in your dinner playlist, and I'm gonna take the rest of them and I'll use those. I just want to feel your vibe. As Jonathan Davis said, it's a guide. That's what I tell people. It's absolutely a guide, but it is not going to replace. And when people tell me, oh, well, they want you to play this. They want you to stick to this playlist. You know what I say? Cool. You know what I do? I give it to one of my other DJs because I don't want to be on that party. That's exactly what I do. If somebody's adamant about it, I'm like, okay, cool. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna put my other DJ on it. No, we want you to DJ. Yeah, no, you're tying my hands. I'm not actually DJing. You were literally putting handcuffs on me. And then you want me to be good. Sorry. Not how this works. So here you go. Here's my other DJ. Hey, I've been doing this long enough. It's not even about me being egotistical or being an asshole or whatever. It is about me just wanting to value my time and earning that level of I don't have to play this. I don't have to play this. That's why I'm a multi-op. So I don't have to do the stuff I don't want to do. That's one of the reasons. I do all the sales for my company. So people are always like, oh, well, we want you on our party. And I'm like, we'll see. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be. I stopped guaranteeing myself because every time I did, we get to the weekend and then there'd be like 8 parties. And there's this one super dramatic party that absolutely needed me to be there, but I couldn't be there because I had to do this dumbass party that for, 85 people in their backyard. No, I'm going to go do the 400 person party. That's where I'm going. And I had a client legitimately had the nerve to try to tell me I hired you specifically for this and you weren't there and you broke your contract. I'm like, you need to look at my contract again. There's nothing in there that says I will absolutely. And I told you, if I can, I always say if there's a party that requires my services because of the detail, because of whatever, I'm going there. I always tell people this because I know I need to be at places. Make your party fun, make your party good, and then I'll be there. That should be your sign right there. If I'm at your party, that means either you got some real complicated stuff that required my persons, or it's just too dope to pass up. If you tell me, oh, we're gonna be, at Nightingale, it's a big nightclub, and I don't have to bring anything. Oh, we're gonna look. This is my number one party. Okay. Yeah. It's a Saturday. It's at Nightingale. And because the club has to open, the party ends at 10 o'clock. Sold. I am there. That is my favorite venue. Not venue per se, but that situation. I'm done at 10. I don't have to break down. Just grab my laptop, put it in my backpack, get in my car, drive home. I'm home by like 10:45. Sold. Absolutely sold. Now, if you tell me, oh, we want you to do the uplights and the pen spots and the gobos and the party goes until midnight and, and then you got to be done by 12:45 because you're going to turn off all the lights and you can't see your stuff. Like, I don't want to do that party. I want it to be easier. Look, there's a reason that the gear I currently use mostly is the way it is. There's a reason that I use the QSCs because they're smaller and they fit in my truck. That means I don't have to go out and get a damn van for my events. I can do everything from my truck. I bring the gig bars and like the ILS because it's easy. I just plug it in. I plug the little USBs in the back of the movers and hit the button. Everything's running. Instant light show. This is why. Even the furniture, people go, oh, the furniture's harder. No, it's 2 pieces. Everything's already wired in. I just set one on top of the other and then pull the cords down. I'm done. This is why. I'm all about ease of use. People, I use the fast step tables when I'm doing like smaller gigs or house gigs or whatever. And people are like, that's an ironing board. That's it. You know how long it takes me to set up my table? 30 seconds. That's what I care about. I care about convenience. It's got to look clean. Okay. I'm never going to say that. It's got to look clean, but it's got to be fast. I care about speed. And the fact that I have yet to have, besides that one party planner, and it wasn't the lighting, it was just she didn't like the gobos. I've never had one person ever complain about my sound, my lighting, or my gear. Not one person, no matter what I have bought. Ease of use, man. Work smarter, not harder. I hate people begging to play a certain song that kills the vibe. Oh yeah, I mean, well, that's our job. That's our job as DJs to be able to say no. And I know everybody's different. I know some people will tell a person, yeah. Always tell them yeah, and then I tell them no. Hey, can you play this song? No, that's not going to work. T Diesel. She complains. I take my time in that one. Come on, are you done yet? We just getting started. Yeah, I don't I don't focus on any of that stuff. I play what I want, and if you ask me for a song that is trash, I'm just gonna tell you I'm not playing that song today. What? I'm not playing that song. Nobody's gonna dance to that song. Can you play? No, nobody likes that song. No, I'm not playing that. Like, oh, fine. It's just because if you tell them yes, if you tell them, yeah, hold on, they're gonna keep coming back. They're gonna keep coming back until you play the song. So just tell them no, break their heart, and walk away. That's it. That's it. How much employees do I have? DJ Global. I guarantee you, you must be global. I employ, oh God, I employ with the dancers upwards of, I don't know, 75 people, 75 to 100, somewhere around there. And it fluctuates because we get turnover because of, and the entertainer part, not the DJs or the MCs, but the dancers and things like that, they come and go. But, because we're in California and there's this stupid law called AB5, every single person that works for us, no matter if they worked one time, has to be W-2'd. It's so stupid. So stupid. They thought they were fixing a problem. They just made the problem worse. So, but continuously, I mean, like I said, I do upwards of, the most parties we've done this season. So that would be September through now, I think we did 12 events on one of these Saturday nights. So you do the math easily. Every party that we send out for the most part has 4 people, 2 dancers, MC and a DJ. Some have more dancers. Some might have instrumentalists like drummers or saxophonists. We had a couple of DJ only parties, but if we just take that 12, we multiply it by 4 right there alone, that's 48 people. But that's just the baseline. That is what it takes to just do the party. We're not factoring anything else. So I would say there's probably 75 to 100. Yeah. Let's see here. It'd be the ones not paying that kills me. Yeah, well, that's why you have levels to it. Like we only bring certain gear towards what the amount of people you have. If you have 100 people, you're getting a smaller setup and everything than if you have 200 people. It's just the way it works. I employ a guy that teaches line dances at events. Smart. I mean, it's like you've broken out your responsibilities to different people. That's also an MC. How do you find DJ assistants? I don't personally use one, but I know they're valuable. Absolutely valuable. I mean, I don't need them because all of my parties have MCs. So they're the assistant. But in general, assistants can be necessary. It just depends on the size of the party. I don't force assistants on every party because some parties are just easier, or if I need it, I have enough built into the package price so I can have an assistant and not worry about it. So, all right, hold on. So my appointment's at 12 o'clock. I got 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then I got to call Moby booth and figure out which package is coming since I have 2 that are, I swear to God, if they're late, if my photo booth stuff is late, I'm going to be pissed because I got them the photo booth stuff by Wednesday of last week. They fixed it on Thursday. I talked to them on Thursday and I said, look, I need this back by Friday. So the earlier the better. They're like, nope, no problem. We're sending it out on Friday. We're good to go. Sweet. That's 5 days. I can make that happen. On, I think Monday or Tuesday, I get an email saying, hey, we have an updated tracking list. So this is coming here. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but now it's Friday. I got to call them and see what the hell's going on because they both look like they're coming from the same place. Anyway, DJ Leo says, how do you find an MC? We look for them and then we train them. But you got to look. I find a lot of people. We get a lot of DJ companies that try to snake our people. Hey, I'll give you this much if you come to a party for me. And we tell our DJs and our MCs, you can't work for other people, especially the MCs. The DJs, you want to do a wedding on the side or whatever. Okay, do your thing, whatever, but just don't interfere with our Saturdays and uh, don't take our events. If you're doing a bar mitzvah, now you've broken the rules, but if you do a wedding or whatever, fine, whatever. But I have people that are like, yeah, hey, we'll pay you this much if you come work for us. And I'm like, why? And a couple of people have tried, and I'm like, why would you do that? You're willing to take a gig from somebody that might pay you, $200, $300 more. And instead of working for me where I'm going to work you every single week, the entire year, you're willing to risk that? That's silly. That's short-term thinking. So, yeah, we have our own people. We train them in-house. We don't typically bring MCs on that work for themselves, who do their own thing, because it's never about you. It's always about them. So we don't tend to do that. We tend to train from within. But we have people that try to snake them, and we're like, oh, so what? We do all the work. We spend all this time and resources and money because we have a full training staff on getting these people up just so you can take them? Kick rocks. Kick rocks. So we don't do that. Okay. Better for taxes. What's better for taxes? What is better for taxes? Having them W-2'd? No, it's not. We pay so much more money right now out of California because of AB5. It's not better for taxes. It's not better for anybody's taxes. Nobody wanted this. This was a top-down decision. And then the way they spun it in the vote made it seem like it was helping the state. It's not helping the state. I mean, it's bringing the state more money for people that don't deserve to be taxed. That's the issue. It's crap. AB5 is a crap. It's a horrible, horrible law. Okay. All right. I think I have to start ending this because I do have, I'm in Virginia, so it works here. What works there? You need to be more specific, big baby. I don't understand what works. Let me know. If I move to Cali, could I work for you? I don't know. I never assume anybody. You might be able to. Depends. Send me some demos. W-2 employees. It all depends. Sorry. It all depends. Because even though you're getting more tax write-offs, you're also incurring more expenses every single month. You also, at least in California, it opens up the door for other things, more workers' comp dollars. You have to tax the employee now because they're W-2, and a lot of these dancers don't want to be W-2. They want to be 1099. Now that you're taxing them at a higher rate, they're in their minds, they're saying, oh, well, now I'm not getting what you promised me that I was getting before. Like if you're paying a person, I'm just going to say $300. Now they're being taxed on $300, even though they have a responsibility to pay that tax. They don't want to pay that tax. So now they're like, well, I need to make more money because I need to make the $300 you said I would make. So now you got to pay them, $345 or $350 per month per pay just so you do it. So you're losing money. Yes, it's a write-off, but not a write-off because you're still losing money, still costing you more money. Then that means because it's costing you more money, I got to raise my rates on all of my packages. That way I'm not losing as much money. So now the client is getting hit by it. I'm not making any more money because I'm having to pay out more money. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. But anyway, it is 11:56. I have to go. I appreciate everybody. If you have not watched my Mixon 8 video, go watch it right after this. It's very thorough. I think it's very thorough. And, go show some love and make sure you like this video, this live stream before you go. Set up a second big account to save everything, gas bill, higher account, and tax. I have all that. Why are you telling me these obvious things? Dude, this company produces a lot of revenue. it's not something that we could do just off on our own. All of this stuff we have, all of this stuff. We have full on CPAs, accountants. I have a bookkeeper. Trust me when I tell you, we're all doing it the right way. But you got to do it on the up and up, because the one thing you don't want is for anything to be flagged and then they come back and next thing you know, you owe $100,000. You get what I'm saying? So you got to be smart about it. Anyway, I do have to go because my 12 o'clock is not going to wait for me. So thank you guys for your time. I will be back on Thursday. Next video I will be releasing is on my Ultimate Ears headphones, in-ears. I'll do a video on that one. Also, if you guys aren't following me on Threads, follow me on Threads. Follow me on IG, but follow me on Threads too, because I'm keeping Threads as like a daily journal. So if you're curious and if you have any questions, you can ask me on there. That way it's live and visible, and then anybody who's on there can see my answer. So make sure you guys are following me on Threads too. So Ultimate Ears, I will be doing the Wolf Mix. I'm going to be using the Wolf Mix this weekend. So maybe, probably not, but maybe. I think there's a couple other pieces of gear that I want to do, but Ultimate Ears is coming up next. Yeah. All right, guys, girls, always a pleasure. It's Thursday, so that we're coming close to the weekend. So have great parties, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.
up.